Hello, Internet. It's Monday, March 23rd, and today's topic is Dollhouse, the latest television offering from Joss Whedon. Um, I just watched last Friday's episode of Dollhouse, Man on the Street. I've been hearing a lot of buzz saying that it was the best of the series so far, and I really have to say it was. I've liked the show since it began, don't get me wrong. But the first few episodes they seemed to like they were struggling to find its footing, and it's really not uncommon for something like that to happen. It happens to a lot of shows. Even Stargate SG-1, one of my favorite all-time television series, which ran for 10 seasons and spawned 2 spin-offs, had a lot of borderline terrible episodes in its first season. So this is something that a lot of shows go through. The question is, will Fox give Dollhouse the chance to really hit its stride, or will they axe it because they're the worst network ever? And maybe a little bitter over that whole cancellation of Firefly and Futurama and Titus, and the list goes on. Unfortunately, I think the answer is no. Dollhouse will likely be shown the door at the end of the season, and those of us who watched it will be left wondering what the show could have been, just like Firefly, except this time around I wouldn't expect a movie. Because Dollhouse just really doesn't seem to be garnering that sort of following, and B, it's not as good as Firefly, let's face it, and C, it really would suffer terribly in the movie format, I think. I know I previously expressed some ire at the Fox executives for canceling my beloved Firefly, and there's going to be a lot of people out there who are going to be quick to comment and be like, these are new executives, Fox has come under new management since the whole Firefly debacle. But I really don't think that matters, and I'm really not blaming Dollhouse's failure on Fox this time around. I mean, if they do cancel the show, I will understand. In this day and age, you can't afford to have a show that might make you money some years down the line. You can't sit and wait for shows to reach their potential and wait for them to become moneymakers. You need them to be moneymakers now. And so I don't hold that particular decision against Fox if Dollhouse does get the axe at the end of the season. So, I understand their need to find the network need to find shows that make money right now. It's fair. Unless, of course, you're NBC, in which case you send moneymakers like Scrubs to ABC and you renew Heroes for a 4th season. Don't get me wrong, I love Heroes. It's one of my favorite shows. But its ratings have been on a steady nosedive since the first season ended. They even started dipping at the very end of the first season. It's hemorrhaging money. Earlier in the season, episodes were upwards of $1 million a piece to make. I mean, the NBC has got to figure out eventually that a show about people with superpowers who rarely use them just isn't very cool at all. And either they'll have to take the show in a new creative direction, which apparently, since they've rehired one of the writers who made the first season so great, might be happening, or they will have to show Heroes the door, which I frankly was expecting to happen at the end of this season, but NBC has unofficially renewed the show for a 4th year. So I guess we'll see where that goes next year. But that's an entirely different story. So, like I said, I do believe Dollhouse will be getting the axe at the end of the season, and there'll be a lot of people sitting out there wondering if the show ever had anywhere else it could have gone, any more potential it could have gotten. And I think in the future, the place that you're going to have to go for shows like Dollhouse that are kind of weird and might not be in the general public vein of network television is places like Syfy. And that might even be slightly questionable with Syfy's new We Hate Nerds name change campaign. If you haven't heard of it, they changed the name from Sci-fi Channel, as in Science Fiction Channel, to Syfy, S-Y-F-I, or S-Y-F-Y, sorry. And this is apparently to lose the association with basement nerds. So, way to alienate your fan base, Syfy. Good job. I mean, I get the greater reason of you can't trademark sci-fi, the genre name, but you can trademark SYFY. But if you're going around telling people, yeah, I saw this great show, you should go watch it. Oh, what channel is it on? It's on Syfy. Well, that sounds like a nerdy channel. I'm not going to watch that. Oh, it's okay because it's spelled Syfy. It's hip. It's cool. Oh, you're right. I should go watch that right now. It's just not going to happen. And anyone who thinks it is fooling themselves. Um, but that's really all I have to rant about today. So that concludes my sci-fi television rant for the day. And I will see you guys later.